not to take credit from Jim Milford, did a great job adapting this, but this is very faithful to the book.
Well, this is.
Oh, is this one oh, you're right.
Originally, they meet on a nude beach.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Brad fought hard to keep that.
Yeah.
In the book, Tyler's moving his sundial.
Anything nudity, I'm always full of
Body. That's right. This is in the book. The other big one is in the bar coming up.
Yeah, playing. Well, can we be naked?
Okay.
What were some of the most
Gonna do a workout.
Did you find yourself like actually having to sit there?
No,
It's gonna be
Really?
My Berlin.
5 rounds,
in the heart of that.
10 reps, GHD, kettlebell, clean to a thruster, and a 50-pound medicine ball toss over the shoulder.
Soldiers out there.
It's got Fred Siegel's package.
Yeah.
It is really interesting though, like one as a lighting thing. I mean, you guys really wash the color out.
So,
like
I'll do 10 hip extension on the GHD,
and mine too.
10 kettlebell clean and press, clean and
It's just
to
interesting.
clean
Dark. I
to
mean, I like
a
that.
thrust.
It's really dark.
That's one.
Not just in the psychic sense.
And then
Finch used to toss around sort of the Buddhist
this
saying you have to kill your parents and then kill your God and then kill your teacher.
50-pound
Tyler
ball
helps Jack, reject the value system of
toss
his
over the
parents.
shoulder.
And then at the end, he has to
Do that
reject
right
Tyler as
here.
his teacher. He has to sort of pull back and, Tyler helps him through the first steps toward enlightenment in a way. But by the end,
try and
he
do
pull back
all
from
this
Tyler even to
right here.
define himself as separate from Tyler.
Okay,
I think that's one way you can look at the whole thing.
do it.
I mean, Tyler's seduction is a more liberating seduction. I mean, it's the seduction of liberating yourself from, the entombment in material possessions and all that's familiar and not working on an emotional level.
Here's Bob.
See,
Everyone's your Bob.
No, ancient friend of Finch Wallace.
Fincher's
Good back.
And bitten about everything you've done, right?
designs a mean pair of sweatpants too.
He's one of those guys who just need a rhythm or morale, true morale.
He is. He's the morale.
Now see, this was a scene that pretty much anytime I saw it got a laugh. Only someone like Ken Turan couldn't laugh at a scene like this. I don't own.
He shut up, baby.
Yeah, he's good. I love that. Scratching back in the head. I'm not here to judge.
I think I'm gonna do 20 of these instead.
I'm not here to judge.
Now, this was power, I gotta say. I found a little power surge working through LAX.
It took Brad about 8 takes to be able to get that car into gear.
You're out of your mind.
You did it first one.
You gotta keep getting your head turned right.
Tyler, on sort of a philosophic, political level, he definitely represents sort of, I think, a very Nietzschean impulse toward the idea of nihilism as a practical approach. I mean, it's a lot like sort of Nietzsche's Zarathustra. It's the idea that nothing can change in a positive way unless allowed the old value to rip down. What gets explored in this film is the idea that nihilism is a very sexy idea when you're young and feel frustrated, but that becoming mature means recognizing the practical limits and in some ways the hypocrisies that nihilism lends itself to. I have a funny story about the night we shot this coming up right here.
Okay.
Now in the lobby of this building, there was a fountain which was turned off, but the water was kind of basically at floor level. And right before this shot right here, I was sort of trying to get, appropriately in that mode right there. And I just turned with all those extras around and stepped right into the fountain. And I was up to my calves in the fountain. But fortunately this shot didn't have my feet in it.
Literally,
That's outtake material, my friend.
literally 5 or 6 people, crew members, just stepped in that fountain. It was just,
They did?
you would hear splash, 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 and we would go, oh shit. And let you have the sign.
What strikes is he always knows where he wants to be within the context of the story. The drawback is sometimes his planning keeps it from being fresh, in theory anyways, but the guy is just so exquisitely good that he never gets in the way. Me, I'm the opposite. I let the day dictate what's going to happen, and so for me it's more of a hit and miss. Drawback for me is when I'm missing, I'm really missing. to fall back on.
I always liked that her voice, we talked about that when we were writing the script about, or you know, working on it, just about how her voice should trigger the explosion.
Yeah. Totally.
See, thematically speaking,
Dead Space.
That's good stuff.
I always thought that at his moment of sort of desperation, he kind of has this impulse to call the woman, which is pretty much the impulse he should have been following all along. Which is too much like him. He sees himself in her too much.
It's these underlying things that we don't state, but just hating someone the most because they represent you, yourself, reflect your life. Sounds good.
And so as soon as he hears that voice, he hangs up and then basically calls the other guy who is his imaginary friend. So really that's the moment of the beginning of true choices there. Although I guess he was talking to himself on the airplane. And I guess he did. He set the as a part of him already.
Oh, he's already done it, yeah. He's just not dealing with it yet. He's still in control.
So he's basically been a sick twist from the first version of the film.
Yeah, fade in.
Of 1 round, 4
I
minutes.
actually wanted to, before we started, I was trying to get Finch to
Like a 20-minute workout.
self-help group leader.
You can do 5 rounds.
Feminist style. So you created your whole alter image. We're going to loop this scene. And again, it was almost 14-hour looping day where Vince and I were getting a little flat happen. And in the last take, we're just doing some potato chips. I just love that he grabbed that one.
Now this scene was another scene that was not in the book that was kind of a collective effort in the office.
Yeah.
No one cared for that. I love the Lorraine Bobbitt reference. It just never went over. And those things crushed me.
We spitballed
kind of
this
came
one.
out of a lot of just kind of came out of a lot of spitballing.
A lot of nerve basketball.
A lot of basketball.
We had a longer rehearsal period on this than any movie I've ever worked on.
We spent most of it playing basketball.
And we spent most of it shooting our poops. Most films do tend to wrap things up thematically in a bow and let you go out of the theater knowing exactly what the message was that you were supposed to take from this. And when the films that muck around in these kind of ideas resolve in some ways ambiguously and dump a lot of it in your lap and say you have to sort through some of this yourself and figure out what it means to all of you, what components of it you agree with, what components of it you disagree with. You know, people get very uncomfortable. People don't like it.
I loved your insistence on getting Viagra into this somehow. It's like Viagra had to be in there. It's exactly right. Your instincts were right.
And yours with the Lester.
Oh, Lester. A little more obscure anal leakage reference.
I knew I wanted to be in this movie the minute I heard that we were going to get to say fuck Martha Stewart in it.
I was hesitant until I saw the Kmart commercials and I said, all right.
I've met her. She's actually a handsome lady and very nice.
What do you guys think of Rosie O'Donnell? Rosie O'Donnell just hated this movie.
I know, but you know,
Really? That's okay. No, but she was saying this movie disturbed me. I could not sleep for nights. It hit a nerve. It struck some nerve, whether she wanted to look at it or not, and that's what I
No.
Yeah, but the deal was she gave away the ending on national television.
Yeah, I know.
It's just
I
unforgivable.
think, the auxiliary tract is a good place to be bitter.
What?
Yeah.
She was
Because basically anyone who's seen the movie, bought the DVD, and decided to go ahead and listen to all this is a fan or is liking me.
You think so?
Yeah.
Or left for ammunition to bring us all down.
Exactly.
No, I'm just gonna assume the positive and assume that anyone listening in here is cool.
I think another thing that was sort of informed the whole experience of doing Fight Club for me was that I was playing a supporting character, who was working 40 days over 113 and spread across that period. So it was quite difficult. I suppose one of the greater challenges was trying to remain emotionally involved and concentrated and coming in, having to have 3 weeks off to do another scene and somehow, resurrecting her. I've never been asked to do that. I never had to sustain for about 6 months, but magically, that was definitely one of the sort of challenges of the job.
Yeah. Now the casting for this.
Fincher appears in all his films. With a big tan.
I don't tan well, except in a few places.
Now the thing about cigarette burns in actuality is don't they most movies on a platter now?
Yeah, so
So that
it's an irrelevant joke, but it was there for posterity.
there must be some theater for this level of rituals.
This was our first, this is yeah,
That's right, this was Brad's first day.
Remember I came in and we shot till like, what, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I got in the elevator, he was going out to get in his car, and he said, oh my god, this is gonna be like this.
We can go there, like, I didn't go on. I know you left pretty late.
You know, I left a little earlier than you.
Time flies when I'm working. My mom actually justified this whole entire movie. Because I warned her going in, but she it's all
Starting round 3.
I play a character who's not really real. It's really Edward doing it, so she's sleeping.
I was like the fact that I was actually eating with the people before I turned down the fourth wall.
I love that, and Brad is so funny that in his choices he's such a dangerous and sort of utterly present performer.
This is a scary thought. I'd rather just not
Switch
think
to
about
back extensions.
My
Instead.
introduction to the whole of the Fight Club scenario was over the whole Oscar period, and I was being sent
Oh,
lots and lots of
back
scripts.
extension
It's
is,
the last time you want to read anything.
Where you try to curl up.
By trying to do
Like
10,000
this?
interviews. But just
Pull
before
back down.
some pre-Oscar party, I met Brad.
Versus the hip extension is
And I read it, and I felt under the feet.
where you keep your,
I felt that, well, it's
your lower back locked in.
We
And
discussed
you just
moral
extend
issues
the
and
hip.
I was responsible for film
The hip extension,
And he was
like
very
this.
intelligent about it.
Or
Very
back
intelligent.
extension.
Anyway, we discussed it, and then I met
Release,
Peter, I guess, a week
and then
later,
curl.
and then was very impressed with him. Particularly because he was so completely unlike
Yeah, these are
what
getting
I'd
harder.
expected. I thought I'd get a
We'll
very
switch back to 10 reps.
150% testosterone.
Started doing 10.
Macho.
Let's switch to 20.
Possibly somewhat mature
Now I'm gonna go back to 10.
adult. And
Because that's what feels right.
actually, what struck me about Fincher was his particularly soft.
There's no sense in overtraining.
But highly articulate and
He's doing this for me.
but he didn't need
Not
to be
trying to
that
impress
way.
anybody here.
Well, between the three of them, the intelligence, the talent, and the writing as a highly literate script. You just don't get film scripts, certainly like in mainstream or big budget films. You don't get that level of talent and intelligence.
I think it's so clear that in this scene, the whole point that is articulated is not I'm feeling shitty about all these things we've been talking about, so I want to like punch you in the face as a result of it. But the point was to take the hit. That it was more about the receiving and the shaking me out of my own
Not
sort of
aggression.
having experienced yourself.
Even if it's difficult.
This is my best ad living right here.
Yeah.
This is a free form interpretive dance session there. Unchoreographed.
I love the Bruce Quill smoke.
Yeah, it's country.
We reshot that, but it didn't get used. Why? Too long.
Yeah.
When I first read it, it took a bit of explaining. I mean, I found it intensely funny in a dark way, but I also felt there's a message here that could be misunderstood. Admired it for its boldness, but knew that it needed careful and responsible handling because it could be taken literally. I knew it would be controversial, I knew it would be misunderstood, but I knew that the position from which the main artists were working, the director, Edward and Brad, they all had the right intentions and the right sense of they were operating from the right place.
One of the most interesting things about the experience of this film for me was watching the way of the response. And I think part of what was exciting about it is that on some levels, a movie like this is not for your average mainstream audience, and yet it got made by a major studio at a pretty loud production level, which is very exciting because I think we knew it was going to be provocative, and I saw that as the whole point, and it was interesting to watch it, sort of watch across people. What's so interesting to me is so many of these critics, and that's not to say that in sum total, I would say, reading through sort of the national critiques of this film, through the packet, I would say probably 70% of them, I would think, fully went with the idea of it and were very supportive of its complexity, but there was that sort of reactionary 30% that were tossing around words like, this is a fascist, this is just
Real reactionary.
brutalizing, and all these things, and ironically, ironically, I felt like a lot of it came from the left, in a way. It came from sort of the reactionary left, which is not what you would expect. People coming up to me and saying this movie really shook me up, or I was thinking 2 days later, that's the idea, that's the ultimate compliment, and that's why you do a film like this. By the end of the first month.
The whole water and electricity mixture. I'm thrilled about it myself.
There's no electricity. There's no electricity. But I was like the idea of Tyler as this guy who just doesn't, he doesn't like bother himself with the big issues. He's standing ankle deep in water and he's trying to really quickly get a fuse out. If you do it fast enough, so
You could be the speed of light.
yeah, okay.
Alright, 3 rounds.
Yeah,
I was gonna do 5.
My trash here.
But changed it to 3.
I do remember that we
Feel like doing 3 instead. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate all of you. I know you're here for the dog mostly. So, say hi. Say hi to your people. Alright. You a boy. Alright. See you guys later.
Look for ways to just create your own entertainment. Go off and came out.
Take care. Bye.